It's Wednesday, October the 8th, 2025. Shall we begin? Hey. Hey, you. How you doing there tonight? Huh? Everything doing all right? Everybody all right? I hope so. Come on in my room. Come on in my room. Ooh. Come on in here. Come on and join me tonight. And I hope you are ready for a good time. All right. Yeah. Hello. It's me. I am he, them, they, him, aka unveiled vibrations. Aka CD McCollum. And you have entered into my room. Well, to remain consistent with everything that I do, I brought my hips up here tonight. What do I plan to do tonight? Something. Plan to do something with this time. And phew. Well, I'll begin with greeting the people that have entered into the room. Amen. This evening, I have with me Monsieur Jojo Speaks. Welcome, sir. Welcome, Monsieur. Welcome. And I welcome Senorita Genacita Estelle McCollum. She says, "Word." Mr. Jojo Speaks said, "Hey, Tyron. Hey, my brother." Oh man, Miss Jennifer Star McCullough says, "You better get in to all the pronouns." Hey, that's another side of me that not too many people get a chance to hear me speak. And I'll speak on that for a little bit. I decided to go with the him, he, them, they, because there's a lot going on in this noggin. Spiritually, being connected to multiple things within God's spiritual realm, and here on earth, I had to give homage, acknowledgement to such a thing. Thus, all four of those are me. Amen. Jojo Smith says, just like Jennifer on Monday nights. You know, I admire what has been crafted and curated over there at the Light of the Leo. My lovely wife, Jennifer Star McCollum, channel here on the L YouTubers. And oh my gosh, to draw from nothing weekly is a little outside of my realm. Because yeah, I'm such a planner. Such a strategic methodology, just method of madness, organization type of minded person, and to have to, I don't know, in layman's term, figure it out on a whim, it's a little hard for me. Because when I do stuff, I want it to mean something. I want it to add value to what I'm trying to do, and hopefully it will stack up over time, and I don't know, people will ride the wave with me. Um, to go at it alone, it's a little scary. Solo dolo, when I'm used to doing things in groups and collectives, it's a little overwhelming, I would say. Yeah, that's the word. Overwhelming. And the reason why I feel overwhelmed is I have so many thoughts running through my mind all at once and not knowing what and where to go with it. I guess that's a part of my growth. uh, I'm glad you love the French intro. Uh, I forgot how to say "you're welcome" in French. That was so long ago. That's over 20 years ago when I was forced to select a foreign language out of a collective of classes, and a lot of it kind of got washed away over time, and some of it stuck, because it's common stuff that we hear, or just retaining it and utilizing it from time to time. Uh, it's been a little rough because I learned a lot over the years. uh, she says, Jennifer Star McCollum says, I just get up there and do it. I applaud you. You got some guts, girl. Because I don't know how to do it. I don't know how to do it. It's a little hard. I literally have to draw energy from somewhere. Not totally sure where. I hope that doesn't sound bad, but I just don't know. And to literally just talk about nothing, it's a little hard. Because more often than none, I will just sit here in silence. And that absolutely contradicts this platform because we're supposed to be resonating with the other side of silence, meaning finding some type of sound. And yeah, there you have it. Hence why it's hard. At least for me. She says I'm literally doing it now. It seems like I'm literally doing it now, but this was a little bit pre-planned. I had some inner dialogues earlier today with the them part of me, and thus, what I give you what I got, which isn't much right now. So there you have it. Um, so I have to go back to my handy dandy, uh, lovely chat GPT because we with a capital W had a nice conversation today. Um, Give me a second. I'm like, where in the world was it? Oh Lord Jesus, this thing went way back. That's one thing I do not like when I re-enter into my chat GPT's chat. Quite often it goes backwards and I have to go all the way scrolling through to find where I left off. And that is nerve wracking. Um, I'll say this: those that aren't afraid of technology and have a chance to interact with artificial intelligence, um, it is quite astonishing what it can do. Uh, Especially when given a decent amount of information that it could uh, draw from. Um, so um, let's go with the flow of things. And this is my starting point. Um, so lately, I have been on this spiritual transformation of sorts. And while within this spiritual transformation, I have been chipping away at parts of myself um, to kind of find who I desire to be nowadays because a lot has transpired for me um, naturally and spiritually. And being affected by the things in this world and my own personal aspirations and whatnot, I reached a point of I really don't like myself at that time because um, per my conversations with AI, I was very hard on myself for the things that I thought I had control over. And through inner working, I found out that I am not in control of and judged myself very unfairly and harshly because um, I want so much for myself. Uh, I saw myself at a level and did all that I could to reach and attain that, but came up short because life had been hitting me hard. some of the hard things is not everybody is going to like what you do. Not everybody is going to support what you do. And having to understand that and be okay with it has been more harder to, I guess you would say, forgive yourself for the shortcomings. And it's even worse for me because of upbringing and the things that I was exposed to. Because what I'm realizing is it wasn't my own expectations that I was trying to reach and attain. It was other people's expectations of me. And I superimposed them. And from it, that became my identity and what I shaped my personality and dreams and aspirations from, and goals for myself based off of where others believe I should be and saw me becoming without any thought of my own about the direction and what I am undertaking in all this. And the weight of not reaching that became super heavy. And what do I mean by that? What made it so heavy? I was groomed in environments of having to pursue perfection because people like that look like me don't get those opportunities that often. Or people like me that look like me don't even gain any type of respect in the room because of how I look. And a lot of people would say like, "Yeah, you look smart. You look like a professional. You look the part to me." But I guess in the pursuit of perfection, I really, really got hard on myself because of opportunities missed. And a younger version of me told my band director once, "There's always another day." And how we got there was his teaching and tutelage to us as a collective was the real world doesn't care. And that was his way of saying there's no such things as excuses. And when you don't do everything right the first time, there is no second chances. And for me, it took me a long time to realize how much that weighed on me because I've always believed in second chances and opportunities will boomerang around. Yeah, it may take a long time for them to matriculate through the cycles and come back, but things do come back. Um, for me, I believe that wholeheartedly until life hit me so hard that I walked away with a broken jaw. Yet I walked away from it, but I walked away broken. And understanding that car accident set me back and out of who I was. And I had to recreate myself because everything that happened before that accident completely changed. And I worked very hard to go somewhere and to get to a point in life where things began to get stagnant and the momentum that I once felt was gone. The wind was out of my sail and fighting against things. I wanted to prove to the world that that version of me that essentially died was still there, but mm-mm, it wasn't. And what's so hard about it is trying to live up to that version because a part of me felt like that was the best version of me. And what was so hard about that on myself was I judged myself very, very harshly because of what I did not return to. And to know people that knew that version of me, and almost every last one of them would say, man, you used to, man, you was this, man, you was one of the best, or man, you was great at what happened. And honestly, I don't have an answer. I still don't have a real answer. And to proverbially get up back on that horse and ride again has been very daunting for me because as the rapper T, I had a song, The Old Me has died and gone away. And I don't, yeah, I can't get that back. I can only be who I am now. And even that version of me has died. And having to go through a period of mourning that version and actually having to like process the death of that version of myself. It's it's hard. Um and now going through this whole new journey of self discovery of who I am today and what I desire to become now versus then is it's a lot. As Jennifer Starr says, what a journey. And boy, there are so many parts of myself that I want to hold on to and expand and grow, but I feel them slipping away. And it's a daily thing. And, it has been a continuous growth, a continuous acceptance of discovery for me, as Jennifer says here. And I am constantly becoming aware of what is no longer resonating. And that part of me is so hard to just like cope with because I, the image that I once was is something that I held on to so long and held so tightly to and so proudly to. And it had been so hard to let go. Because of the pride that I had behind it. Because all the work that I put into getting to where I was, it now seems like it has just completely dwindled away. And it's like trying to dig up treasure out of a grave without any type of tool to find it. And you're having to go back and retrace your steps and try to take and restore anything that you have been able to find and try to hold on to and treasure it. And with that restoration, try to showcase it as it's still here. Hey, Miss Tammy, welcome. Thank you for joining me today. I appreciate it. Miss Tammy says, why the need to prove it to the world? Life wasn't going to be the same. It was a time to pivot. Hmm. I had to do the same after my stroke. Ooh. Yeah, it just isn't going to look like you thought it I was going to look. I, I understand that. I do because uh, to see my stepfather go from being on the dance floor and having a stroke to not being able to walk again, that was hard. That was hard because I can see him still being him, but he was no longer the version of him that we could see. Like visually, we could see he had completely changed. And I get it. Because, like, to live, you have to live how you are today. And this is a heavy question. So, what are you going to do? It's up to you. That has been my question of myself for the last coming up on 5 years, 4 to 5 years. Really, because I put so much work into doing things and to run into the roadblocks that I ran into, I had no answers to people's questions of, well, why you can't do this, that, and the third, and it's like I don't know. It's beyond my control because it's not like I am not able to do it on one hand, and then the other hand is I've literally lost the desire to, and it's holding both of those that is I don't know what to do. Literally, I don't know what I could do until I'm actually doing it. I know the things I have done, but what to do and I guess being feeling good about it, I guess. I don't know. I guess maybe that's what it is. Ultimately, I don't feel good about what I do right now. And honestly, thinking about it, if it goes back to what I was talking about earlier, if it's not perfect and or at the highest level possible, then it doesn't feel right. And that's something that I'm trying to work on and cope with, cope with itself because I have I've reached a point at some point in time where I felt like I said earlier, that was the best version of me. And I was at my peak and not being anywhere close to that in my mind, it doesn't feel good. Jennifer says, "Hey, Miss Tammy." And she says, "Hey, Jen." You said, Miss Tabby says, answer my own question. I guess I did. I can still put like three dots at the end of it because it's still yet a question mark for me. Uh, Now this right here. Oof. Jennifer says, if you don't have the desire to do something, why consider it? Um, I came from a background of consider all possibilities until you can no longer pursue it. And within that background, I also would steal table stuff and put it on the back burner in hopes that it will reopen itself and be like, oh yeah, that's an avenue that I could go back to. Um, and within the last 5 years of what I experienced life wise, I haven't really seen that work out. Going back to that back burner, whatever it was simmering back there, has gone cold. And I guess I still want to hold on to it in hopes that something would come of it and instead of just letting it go. Because of the concept of leave no stone unturned and ride it until the wheels fall off. And until it's completely stripped away from my life, I still hold on to it. That makes sense. She agrees with you, Jen. It's Tammy agrees with you. Jennifer said, was that peak based upon your goals or what others thought you should or could be? Um, Great question. So in the moment, I felt like those were my goals. Looking back, retrospect, I started to really dissect what was me and what was others. And during that whole retrospect autopsy, I started to discover who was Tyrone, TD, and extrapolate the parts that wasn't of me and trying to discard those things and mold what was left into who I desire to be now. But yet I find myself going back into the trash can and trying to salvage pieces because I was like, oh, I can still use that. I can, instead of completely just letting it go. And I guess I have a problem with letting it go because I feel like I could still use it at some point in life. Hmm. Oh, okay, Miss Tammy. Miss Tammy says that's unrealistic expectations and becomes a reason to not do anything. Ooh. And also, you don't know that was the best version of yourself. Hmm. That is a lot to chew on. Um, I'm gonna definitely take that with me tonight and sleep on that because um I guess what I measured at as being the best version of me was the results that was presented. Uh and maybe looking at it now, it was just I was just sustaining. And to me back then, sustaining was successful. Maybe. I don't know. I have to think about that. I have to like really subconsciously think about that. um, and that to go back on to pronouns, that's the other part of my pronouns because yeah, there is a bit of an alter ego or second part of me that I deem the subconscious versus the conscious. So I have to have that inner dialogue on that one, Miss Tammy. Uh, if you keep looking in the rear view, ha, yeah, you're missing what's in front of you. That's why it's the rear view. I hear you. Um, a part of my upbringing was the lessons of the past prepare you for the future, and I kind of held on to that. Meaning, reflecting on the past helps you to prevent from making the same mistakes. Is the concept that I took from that. And yeah, although I haven't made the same mistakes, I still have yet to be prepared for all mistakes because Murphy's Law. And that was something that uh, I heard quite often from my high school band director, Murphy's Law this, Murphy's Law, because of Murphy's Law. And it was just ingrained in us, um, daily. And it's a program that stuck. And having to defrag and completely take that away from conscious thinking and subconscious thinking to nothing is very hard to do because it's upbringing. And it became, I don't know, maybe a creature of habit of sort. I don't know. Nah. And this is where I'm at right now, Miss Tammy, is looking at, was that the best version of me at that time? And honestly speaking, yes, that was the best version of me that I could present at that time. And I guess for the last 5 years, what has been happening to me was, I'm not sure if I want to say evolution, but that's the sense that I have from it. And there has been this constant transformation, and I'm trying to be present to it and be active in it, but it sucks. It absolutely sucks going through it. And to take on this new form has been quite hard. And I guess, people can say that's life's journey. Yeah, it's not meant to be easy. But um in my state right now, because my mind is constantly working and constantly thinking and constantly analyzing and strategizing, and uh my mind is quite strategic to the point that it can see the outcomes of so many things, like things that are so far ahead of down the road, but I can see it in real time. Like it's what I have coined as being um, able to move throughout time and understand things like, it's like literally playing a game of chess and understanding what moves I make now affect moves down the line. And if I don't make the correct moves, it has always spelled disaster. And I don't know. I probably gotten tired of. I got tired of it, I guess. Um, and I'm just, in a nutshell, me right now, and trying to discover what the present me is to shape the future me is tall order, maybe, because I want so much for myself and my family and future family. And whew, it is been hard. Um, my friend Joseph Jarrell had deemed me as being a time prophet because I was able to move about throughout time in a way that a lot of people don't have awareness of. Like, one of the things of being prophetic is you can foresee things future wise. A lot of people they don't understand the present of it, and some of the other prophets have the ability to look at the past and the future, but not the present. Where I'm aware that I could do all three. Um, One of the hardest parts is seeing that there's multiple outcomes because time isn't a straight line, as many people have um, actually kind of depicted and even taught on. Time is also a loop, and when it loops around within itself, it doesn't stay in one layer. It spirals and constantly folds on itself and splits based off of life events, decisions because of free will, and other people's influences within that timeline. And time is always fluctuating up and down. And this is the motion that I see it. Um, it's like step ladders. So as we're moving forward in time, um, decisions that we make us go up or down on the ladders of time as we move forward. And it's kind of weird to like really track things in the present time because of movement as we're making forward progress. Like a football player, when they go down the field, they're zigzagging, they're always moving forward. But when life pushes us back, or we meet a certain amount of force that leaves us stagnant in time, uh, we go through a time period of frustration because our desire, the way we're designed, are constant forward motion. And when it's beyond our control and we turn to God and put faith in God and bring our worries, our desires, and aspirations to God, and nothing changes. Uh, the church doesn't really have any language for that. The world says it's your fault. And you got to be responsible and you got to be accountable. But yet, you also got to keep going. And Jennifer says, the church also be saying it's your fault too. Yeah, at times they will flip things from it being this, that, and the third to it's you. And what is so messed up, the world doesn't give you grace. The church doesn't give you grace. Sometimes family doesn't give you grace. And what end up happening, you yourself no longer gives you yourself grace. And like she says here, you're not praying enough. You're not trusting enough. Where's your faith? There's is what's said by the church. And in other words, the world says the same thing. You didn't try hard enough. You you're you're lazy. You're not a go getter. You're not this, that, and the third. Or you're not trusting the process. And what's more hurtful to me is when small things come along that quote unquote open up for you. Um, a lot of people want to say that it was of external. They don't even want to give you the credit for the work that you put in for that. Like you had no control of it. You had nothing to do with it at all. And man, for some people, that could be just as detriment to them as this phrase, these phrases coming from the church, coming from family members, coming from the world, and people don't even know it because, like, when it came to me playing saxophone, um, because of life and the pursuit of achieving a bachelor's degree, I couldn't practice as much as I wanted to. And even in that time period, people say to you, "Oh, you never should stop practicing. Or you should never do this. You should never stop." What happens when you can't do the thing anymore? Like the kid that can play basketball real good, but they also have the dream of being a dentist. But life happened. They got a child on the way, and the only job that they could get is working at a grocery store. To tell them you should have went to the NBA, as if going to the NBA was going to solve all their life's problems. And they don't even make the practice squad in college, yet alone to try and even become an undrafted player into the NBA. It's that's heavy to put on people, and people don't even know that. If this student athlete didn't have all these circumstances to unfold within their life where they could be, yeah, he could be a top surgeon, oral surgeon, after dentist, going to dentist school. But all these outside influences and circumstances change their trajectory of life, and all the work that they put into practicing the dexterity to be able to dribble the ball to the best of their ability, to holding the scalpel the right way and being able to pick and drill in a patient's mouth. Yeah, it may still all be there, but life was life, and the pursuit of that happiness had put them in a place where they have to go with the flow. And to see family members, friends, oh man, you was good. You was great at it. Man, when I saw you, oh man, you got all these high awards and accolades from going to school and pursuing dentistry. to working at a grocery store. It's for that person that those circumstances happen to. I would like to say, my platform, you're not alone because there's a lot of us out here that had dreams and aspirations and multiple paths in life. And unfortunately, things haven't gone our way. It's rough. Yeah, I know. It happened to me. And having to reinvent yourself to the environment that you're currently within. As Miss Tammy said earlier, redefining can be hard. To say that you gave it the old college try and be done with it, I guess you can pat yourself on the back with that one. Be proud of where you have gone. And I'll say like this, as you're going through, as we are going through this transformation process right now, listen to your heart. Because, like, for me, musically, I would love to put myself out there more. However, I realized I wasn't ready to do that. And having to get to a space where hey, I lost my audio for a second. I don't know how. But I hope I can be heard. Um, that messed me up. I lost my train of thought because I couldn't hear. Um, Miss Jennifer says, "Here, you are in great company. The death of a desired path is not easy." Yeah. Um, I guess the most scariest part is for me playing saxophone. Not knowing when I will be ready and to just do it is such a daunting task because I want things to be at a certain level and I know I'm not there. Um, I thought about bringing that journey here to Unveil Vibrations, but um, I'm unsure about that. I'm still exploring it, whether this is the platform for that or not. Um, One thing I can say with certain, um, because I have the desire to play again, I feel like I will play again. It's just a matter of time. Um, Finding the time, like the right timing in it. Um, just like with producing music, like I love the process of creating music, and I want it to be the best sounding music possible. Um, if it doesn't feel right, and this is something that I'm coping with now, if it doesn't feel right, I don't need to do it. And it took me a while to get there because um, I wasn't doing it for me, and I'm still coping with that, trying to do things for myself and not be as much as a people pleasing person as I once was. Um, and I think I would leave things off right there because as as I look out into the world and look at other artists and see that the version that I see of them currently, I think about the journey that they had to go through to get there. And fight the urge to be so hard on myself because I haven't gotten to where they are. Now that's funny. People pleasing is a hell of a drug. I will have to agree because whew, disappointing others is the introduction to this. And if you go through a time period of your life where people are always stating how disappointed they are in you, it puts you in a place of overdrive to prove them wrong and to, I guess, fight against that status quo and live up to the perfect image in which they put on you. And I tell you, it's hard to ignore those because they are quite often presenting themselves as your biggest advocates, as your cheering section, as your supporters, and they make people feel good. Having supporters, having the energy and the force of acknowledgement behind you gives you the energy to press on, to drive you forward, and to continue to do what you are doing, no matter what, because of their presence. And we don't understand what chasing that does to us psychologically until it's no longer there. Um, for me, I'm choosing to call it noise at this point because along the way, what I discovered was how it appeared to me was it showed up as false support. And once I became aware of it, it it hurt me more. Absolutely hurt me more because um I thought they were there, but they weren't. Like it what I mean by what I mean by false support is those people that would literally say to you in your face, "Hey, you still doing that thing? Oh yeah, man. That's good. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Keep doing that thing, man." And they never show up to a show. They never buy a t-shirt. They never hit the like button, but see you doing something. But they're not really supporting your movement. Versus those that show up and you can see their efforts and what real support looks like. That's what I mean by false support. Because there is a lot of people that have friends that will cheer you on about what they think you're doing and never investigate and invest in what you're actually doing. And when somebody truly asks them about what you're doing, oh yeah, that thing, that he he do that thing with the camera. I don't really know exactly but he be doing that camera stuff. So, like, hold on, wait a minute. Uh, he be working on the computers, man. But I don't really know what exactly he do with them computers, man. And wait, wait a minute, like. Are you really supporting them? Or are you just kind of just there? Oh yeah, yeah, he does that YouTube thing. Boy, I'm proud of you doing that YouTube thing. But don't watch a video. Not even subscribed at all. Like, that's what I mean by false support. We I would be concerned if that's what fuels you moving forward. Because once they gone, You ain't got nothing. Nothing to draw from out of that. Well, I might be complete on this episode. I thank y'all for coming through. Join me tis night. And I appreciate y'all. Love the dialogue. Hope to see y'all next week. Follow me here on Unveil Vibrations, YouTube, and TikTok. When I do release some more music, it will be released on this platform, Mr. TD McCollum, TD McCollum, on all streaming platforms, especially now that YouTube fixed my YouTube title on my page. Thank you, YouTube. I appreciate y'all. And DistroKid, my distributor, for the work that you guys did in fixing that. Appreciate y'all. If you would like to send me a CashApp, you can do so at Mr. TD McCollum. That is me. Want to chat a little further? Let's talk. Got some topics you would like to pursue? See anything on social media that you want to get my thoughts on? You can send it to this email address here, apostletdmccollum@gmail.com. And I will see you guys Saturday mornings at 10-ish a.m. on Faithful Warrior Ministries, where we come together and pray and read the devotional and do some social commentary, talk about life, journey, and the spirituality and its pursuit of God. Night to you, J. Star McCollum. And as always, if no one has said to you that they love you, I do. I love you. I wish you all well and good night. I'm out of here. Goodbye. Till next Wednesday.